All right, so here we are, New Year Notary Refresher. If For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brijo, also known as Elise, owner of Elise Notary Services and the Notary Education Group, as well as the Notary Support Group, Elise Notary Support 2. We're going to be having a New Year Notary Refresher to get everybody ready for the new year so that you can get business and you can get a refresher on how to perform your duties as a notary. For some people, they may have had to take a break last year, just may not have felt confident enough or had some other life changes that prevented them from being able to, perform their notarial duties throughout the year. So hopefully this will help. If you look, I don't know how you guys screen look, but I do have handouts available that you can download and print out so that you can follow along. Okay. It is optional. If you just want to sit and watch, then you can sit and watch. If you actually want to get some hands on, that's what those handouts are for. Let me make sure nobody up. We got one more person joined. Ever so often, I'm going to have to be checking because I have to let everyone in manually. And we are not going to be on camera because I will be showing you this presentation and documents. So no need to see me. That's not what you signed up for. So we're just going to be doing voice. All right. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Okay. I will be checking the chat. Or if you want to just send a question directly to me, you can send a question. I see a question option and a chat option here. All right. So New Year Notary Refresher. Let's see. How do I advance? Okay, here we go. All right. So the biggest question, not biggest, the most often asked question that I get all the time is, what do I need to get started as a notary? Okay. Hopefully, majority of you guys are already commissioned. You have your insurance, E&O, and bond. If you are looking into offering other services, definitely get the training. All right. Yes, YouTube is available for free. But the problem with YouTube is you have some people who are creating videos and they're just doing it to get monetized and they don't really give you the best information. They're not really a good resource. So you want to be careful with that. If you choose to go that route, you're going to have to do some heavy research to make sure that you are following and learning from someone who is actually doing what you want to do and not just there talking about it. All right. You definitely want to have your notary tools. You want to have a bag to put all your tools in, and you want to have office supplies. What I like to tell my customers when I meet with them is my office. Oh, sorry, I have this little bug flying around. I literally have a rolling office. Okay. Anything they can think of needing for the notary appointment, I have in my bag. I have pens, I have clipboards, I have notepads, paper clips, binder clips, whatever you could think of. I have that in my notary bag at all times. I purchased a rolling notary bag. I used to have one that just went on my shoulder. It was starting to get a little heavy, so I went ahead and got one with wheels, and I got it off of Amazon. For those of you who already follow me and know me, I shop Amazon a lot. So if you're looking for a good notary bag, a good notary stamp bag, a good any tools you could think of, you guys can literally find it online with Amazon, or you can use one of the notary supply stores online. They have several. If you plan on operating as a separate entity, which means that you're going to be advertising your services and not using your name, you want to register your business. I've definitely gotten questions about that too. What do you mean register my business? What does that mean? What do I do with that? Every state has a website where you will register your business. You either can be a sole proprietor where you're going to be operating, it'll be Jane Doe doing business as a different name. Okay. Then you have the LLC, and then you have the corporation. Okay. So which one is better? I don't know. It depends on what it is you want to do. If you plan to go either route, you want to make sure that you ask a professional who has experience in those. My business was registered as a DBA off of my travel agency. And when I closed my travel agency, I converted it over to an LLC. You can't just operate as a business name and not have it registered, because if your business name is the same as someone else's, you could get in trouble for that. Okay. They can bring up charges against you. People don't like people using their business name. Okay. Especially when they have worked really hard to build up that brand. And then you just have this person who's trying to, save money on all ends, and they're just operating under your business name and haven't done the research. How do you do the research? Go on your state website, look up the different business entities, type in the name you're interested in, make sure it doesn't pop up. If it says that there's no name found, you want to hurry up and claim that business name by filling out whatever um, form they have, whether it's online or you happen to fill it out on paper and mail it in. You just want to jump on it as quickly as possible. After you register your business, you're going to want to get an EIN. Okay. You don't want to be connecting your social security number to your business. Okay. An EIN number is basically just like a social security number for your business. It's how your business will be identified. It is how you will be able to open up a business checking account. Now, if at all possible, you want to locate a bank that has free checking for business. I have one. I bank with Space Coast Credit Union. They're not everywhere, but there are other banks that offer a free business checking account. Look into it. You will need your LLC paperwork and your EIN number to open up that account. Another thing that you may want to look into is accounting software. You want to use this for billing and invoicing capability. Okay, it's very important that you keep track of your earnings and your spending with your business, because you're going to need it at the end of the year to give it to your tax preparer for tax purposes. You also want to be able to offer your customers different ways to pay you other than cash. Another important thing you will need is a business email and a business phone. Who's calling me on the group? On my personal phone. All right. Yes, get you a business email, okay? Whether you're using Gmail or you have purchased a domain through GoDaddy and you want to use your domain as your email, whichever way, just make sure you have an email, okay? So your customers can contact you. And you want to have a business phone. Some people opt to have a free business line. Some people purchase another line or add it to their already cell phone service. Whichever way you go, you want to have a way for them to call you. Depending on the services you want to offer, you will need a computer, printer, or scanner, or both. Okay. No, doing general notary work, you don't necessarily need a printer or scanner, but for business purposes, it is recommended that you do have this type of technology available. I have a chat. I am on here, but can't hear anything if you had already started. Oh gosh, you guys can't hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. You're loud.
Oh Lord, I was about to say I did all that talking and y'all can't hear me. Let me tell her maybe go out. Yeah. Oh, Key says she can hear now. Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right, let's keep going. How do you get business? All right. So you got all your tools you need. Now you need to get business. All right. First and foremost, you want to have some type of online presence. Okay. And this does not mean Facebook or Instagram. It means that people need to be able to find you where they will search for what they need. Most importantly, Google Business Profile. You also have Yelp, you have Bing, you have Nextdoor, you have Alignable, and you have LinkedIn. These are really the only important sites you need to have available, for your business online. Okay. All the other ones are just extra, you want to be social with people, um, relate to their interests and things like that. But if you are not on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, which a lot of people are not, these definitely are the online platforms you must be connected to with your business. Why? Because these are all the platforms that people use when they're looking for services like yours. Website. A lot of people are like, really on the, oh, I need a website. I want it to look like this. I want to. You don't have to go through all that. You don't. If you have a Google business profile, guys, if you set it up, Google creates a website for you. All you have to do is click, view it. Um, it's been a while since I've been on, but if you go to your Google business profile and you go to, I think, website, it will show you a website that has been automatically generated for you based on the information that you put into your profile. You can even edit it and add stuff or remove stuff. And then when you click publish, it will publish. Excuse me. You can send people to your Google business page to view the website if you like. If you want it, if you want to personally brand your, doing your business under another name, purchase a domain. Okay. GoDaddy.com, Namecheap.com. I think they're like, when you first purchase it, it's $1 a month. So you pay up front, what, $12? And then after that, you renew it every year for $19.99. Google Business website, you don't have to pay for that. You can connect your domain to that free website just by forwarding your domain to the website. What does that mean? That means that when people type in your domain, it will take them directly to your Google Business website. So you don't have to go through the hassle of doing the name servers and trying to connect it that way, because that can get really confusing. So the easiest way would be to go to the website where you purchase the domain, go to the forwarding, type in or copy and paste really, because it's like Google gives you like a long web address. Copy that web address, paste it into the forwarding under the website you purchased your domain, and click OK and test it out. Wait a little bit, test it out. When you type in that domain, it's going to take them right to the Google Business website and you're done. That's it. Super easy. You don't have to go through the hassle of trying to create a website from scratch. Who has time to do that, right? Next, you can get a free business phone line. If it is not within your budget to add a phone line and purchase a phone, then get a Google Business phone line. I have a video for you to know how to do this on YouTube. You go to Google Voice, you type in the area code of where you are. They give you a free phone number. You forward that phone number to your personal phone. When people dial that number, it's going to connect to your personal phone. You don't have to give out your personal phone number. You use that Google Voice phone number. Now, some people ask, well, how do I know if people's calling my Google Voice number versus my personal number? When you go to set it up in settings, you're able to set the option for the Google Voice phone number to show up on your caller ID when people call it. What I did was I saved my Google Voice number in my phone as my business name. So when people call your business phone and it pops up on your caller ID as your business phone, it'll actually say your business name. So you will know when to answer your phone in a professional greeting versus a personal greeting. Okay? All of that's for free. Another way to get business, you want to attend networking events. Honestly, guys, you can't just rely online. You can't rely on making relationships online. People want to work with people that they know and that they're familiar with. Sometimes online is cool, but you want to really amp up your business, go to some networking events. They have one in your area every day. Find one that is going to be happening around the time that you have availability and go. Take a handful of cards with you, talk to people, build those relationships, and follow up with them and meet with them individually. I literally have met with people that I met at networking events for coffee, and we sit and we just talk. And no, I don't sit and talk to sell to them. We sit and talk about life, and eventually we get around to what my business does, what their business does. But people really just want to relate to someone and they want to build a relationship with a person versus a business, if that makes sense. Another thing you definitely want to do is connect with businesses via LinkedIn and Alignable. Okay, LinkedIn and Alignable are very similar, and businesses are on there looking for other businesses to work with. All right. So that's how you can get business. It's not hard. It's really easy. But if you don't do it, you're not going to get business. That's just how it is. Okay. Next, you want to be prepared. All right. So when you do all of that, you got to be prepared for when you get that phone call. All right. I know the word process gets a little scary for people, but you need to create a process that you follow so that you can transact business smoothly. All right. When a person calls you, they just want to tell you what they need and they want to know how much it costs. Okay. Have you a fee schedule already together? And you want to make the fee schedule as simple as possible. Some of the states, they have fees listed like it's like a whole page, but you have to make it easy for your customer, okay? As confusing as the state may provide that information to you, you can't make it confusing for your customer. It needs to be straightforward. You need to have a checklist. Some people, it has become routine with the checklist, so it's second nature for them to know what to ask. But for some of you, if you don't already know what to ask, you need to have a checklist. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. You got to know what questions to ask because, especially if you're doing mobile notary, I would hate for you to go all the way there and you're not prepared. Most importantly, you want your customers to be able to get a hold of you when you're not available to talk to them. Okay? They should be able to make an appointment with you, okay? Research some appointment scheduling tools, okay? Google has it where you can set it up free, where you can share a link to your Google business calendar and people can schedule an appointment. You can put on there what your days of availability are and times. No, I can't walk you through it, but YouTube does have plenty of videos where it shows you how to generate a public link for your Google Calendar. Apple Calendar, I'm not sure if they have that feature, but I'm sure YouTube will let you know if they do. Okay. You can also use a planner. I'm currently using a paper planner, and they have appointment books as well that you can go and buy at Office Depot. I've even seen them at Dollar Tree. But you want to make sure that you keep your appointments organized because you don't want someone to call or schedule an appointment with you and you already have something scheduled for that time and day. Okay. For example, I had couple reach out to me to officiate their wedding on the 14th of January. And I was really excited. I was going to jump on it. But then I'm like, the 14th, the 14th. I have something going on the 14th. Like the 14th just really rings a bell, I think. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me get my planner. I looked at my planner, and lo and behold, I have an appointment on the 14th at 5, and his wedding was going to be at 6. So I couldn't do it. But I was able to reach out to another notary, and they were able to jump on it and take that wedding from me. So I was happy that I was able to help that couple. Yep, I have heard of Calendly. All right. And then most importantly, you need to have some type of payment processor, guys. People don't carry cash. How many of you carry cash around all the time? I know I don't. I need to be able to pay with my debit card or my Apple Pay. So you want to already have a credit debit card payment processor available. You have Square, you have PayPal, I use Stripe, and there are several others on the market. You don't want to use Cash App. You don't want to use Zelle. You don't want to use Venmo. Is that what it's called? I think Venmo. Why? Yes, I know you can use those and you don't have to pay a fee, but everybody knows that when you are operating a business, you're going to have business expenses. Okay? Cash App, Zelle, and Venmo do not protect your customers. So it works for you, but doesn't necessarily work good for your business and your customers. So please invest or use whatever you need to do. Use a payment processor that's going to protect your customers' information. And yes, you're going to have to pay a fee, but you just let your customers know your preferred way for them to pay is cash, but for a fee, you do offer credit and debit card payments. These people text me. Hold on. Okay. Told the person wrong number, and they're still texting me. All right, guys, moving on. So yes, being prepared. I'm going to stop here and ask anybody if they have any questions about the last 4 slides.
I have a question, Virgil. You mentioned with the payment processor, Stripe. What is that?
Stripe is another payment processor. Because I do remote online notary, whenever I do a online notary transaction, Stripe gets the payment and then Stripe pays me. So it's just like Square, it's just like PayPal. You go on there, you set it up, you connect your business account, and you can accept payments through there. It also connects to my invoicing software. So when I do invoice my customers, they're able to pay me through Stripe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have questions? Please, everybody, make sure you're on mute if you're not asking a question. No? All right, let's move on. All right, next we have qualifying your customer. Every customer that calls you may not need your services like they thought they did, or you may not be able to provide the service. So it's important that you ask the questions that you need answers to. Okay, first and foremost, you want to know, what is the document? How many people are going to be signing the document? Let them know that your fee is based on how many pages you have to sign and seal. It's not all of the pages that they have, it's the pages that you actually have to sign, because sometimes I'll have a customer call, hey, I needed to get 30 pages notarized, what don't you charge? I'm like, am I signing all 30 pages, or is it just the documents, contains 30 pages? I'm like, can you please look through and see where it says that a notary needs to sign? And then they'll look through, oh, it's one page. Oh, okay, that sounds better. You want to know if any witnesses are required. Sometimes you'll get there and you're like, oh my God, we need witnesses. And they're like, oh, okay, my mom can do it. No, mom can't do it. Sorry. Witnesses cannot be and it depends on the state. Okay, this is speaking from Florida. Here, the witnesses cannot be a parent, spouse, or child. So you're going to need to know if any witnesses are required. Will all parties be available? Sometimes you have documents where multiple people need to sign, but everybody cannot be available at the same time to sign, which is perfectly fine. That is called a split sign. It was considered a split signing. And you will notarize for the people who are present with you. And then other people who need to sign, they will need to either meet with you at another time or meet with another notary, and that notary will provide the notarization for those parties. You want to make sure that all parties will have valid ID. Why? Because what if you have a situation where the person doesn't have ID? Then you need to exercise your credible witness option. All right. And you will follow whatever your state requirements are for doing a credible witness for the person who does not have valid ID available. You also want to make sure if they don't have the regular forms like state ID or driver's license, let them know the other types that you accept because they may be able to provide that form of ID for you. Yes, parent, child, or spouse cannot be a witness in Florida for a person's document. And then you want to know how would they like services, okay? Are you coming to them? If you have an office, are they coming to you or do they prefer online? These are all questions you need to ask when you are qualifying a customer for your services, okay? Anybody have questions about these questions here? Okay, don't forget, I do have handouts. You should be able to see them and you can download them and print them out. Does somebody have a question?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So for the witness, so say it's a power of attorney and there's the person who's making someone the power of attorney. The person who's becoming the power of attorney, they can't be related to the witness either. Is that correct?
Yes, they can.
Okay. So it's just the principal cannot have a spouse, child, or what was the other one? Parent as the witness, but the witness can be for the person who's going to become the power of attorney.
Yes, but most times the power of attorney is related too. So
okay,
you just got to be careful with that.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions about the questions we went over? All right, moving on. Quoting your fees. I have been talking about that for a few months now. I did introduce you guys to the notary calculator that my friend, the Crafty Notary, created. And many of you purchased it and found out that you have not been charging what you need to charge for your notary. You know, when you read the handbook, it says you can only charge the state allowed fee, but you also want to charge for other things as well. And unless your state mandates what that fee can be, you set your own fees for that. Okay. So, yes, you are charging your notarization fee. You're also charging for your time. How long does it take you to notarize a document for someone? Sometimes it can be anywhere from, 7 to 15 minutes. Okay. You want to charge for your time. Do they need you to print out the document for them? Okay. There's a fee for that. Your toner, your printer, and your paper cost money. So you need to have a print fee. Okay. Are there additional signers? Okay. Because I charge the regular notarization fee for one signer. What if they have 4 different people signing the document? I'm charging for those additional signers. everybody has to go into my journal, and I'm charging for everyone who's going in my journal. I don't charge for the witnesses, though, as an additional signer. But if I have to provide a witness, then I do charge a fee for that because I need to pay my person for their time. And I'm in South Florida, and so a lot of people are here retired or they're here with no family, so they don't know anyone, and some of them don't feel comfortable having a neighbor or coworker witness an important document they need to get notarized. So they do ask me to provide a notary, I mean, not a notary, provide a witness for them, and I will just let them know what that fee is, and they either agree or disagree with it. You also want to charge a travel fee, okay? Gas is not free, nor is it cheap. So you should be charging for your travel. You're not charging one way, you're charging round trip, okay? Just as long as it takes you to get to them, it takes you probably that long or longer to get home, all right? And anyone else have any other fees that they want to share that they do charge for? I think it's just called the Notary Calculator. It's not free, and it's through the Crafty Notary. You will have to go to her website. In the membership Facebook group, I'm sorry, I did pin a link in the features section so you can find it there. Anybody else want to share another fee that they do charge their customers that I did not mention? You guys probably weren't even charging for some of the stuff though, huh? Location fee, would that be considered your travel fee though? Would that be a part of your travel fee, or is that in addition to your travel fee? Oh, okay. All right, so she said via hospital or jail, she charges a location fee. Okay. Anybody else charge for any other fees I didn't mention?
After hours fee
Oh yeah, there
or
you
a wait
go.
fee
Okay.
if you set up an appointment and they have you waiting,
Hmm.
you know, not
Okay.
a whole lot, but you be considerate of your time, especially if you're going to like the hospitals, if
Hmm.
nurses changing, doctors or whatever, that's you're just sitting there waiting after you already made the appointment. So sometimes maybe a wait fee, nothing too high, but wait fee or even after hours fee if they can only have the appointment, during the time that you're technically closed. I've had that
Hmm.
happen and I charged
Okay.
additional $10. Nothing,
Right.
outrageous. You don't want to
That
outprice
makes sense.
yourself.
That makes sense. After hour fee,
Mm,
holiday fee.
yeah.
Yep. And as far as the wait time, that's a part of my time. So
Mhm.
if I charged you for 15 minutes of my time and I've been there for an hour, then I do let them know upfront that I will be adjusting the invoice to reflect the time that I was here.
Mhm.
So yes, all good reasons for you guys to charge additional fees. All right. Next, what do you do at the appointment? All right, so they've called you, you asked the questions, you got the information you need. Now you are at the appointment. First thing you want to do is, well, I didn't put it here, but you want to introduce yourself. Even though you already talked on them talked on the phone with them, I always like to introduce myself. Okay, hi, I'm Bergeau, be Elise. Nice to meet you. Then I ask them for the documents. What do you got for me today? What are we going to be notarizing? I need to review the document. Why? I need to see who all needs to sign the documents. I need to make sure that there are no blanks left um, unfilled unless it's for other purposes, like when you see on the documents office use only, or maybe this blank is for someone else who won't be signing with me. You want to double check all of that. If you see page numbers listed on the bottom of the pages, sometimes that is there. You want to make sure you got all the pages, all right? What if they omitted one? Because they're like, yeah, I don't want her to see this because I'm gonna sneak and have somebody else sign this and just, she'll have it already notarized. No, no, you want to make sure because people do that. I had someone do that to me, but you do have that happen. So if you see page numbers present, make sure you got all the pages. Okay. Is there a notary certificate attached? If so, what is the notarization type? And is that certificate even compliant with your state? Remember, you can notarize documents from other states. It's just that every state certificate may not be compliant with your state certificate. So you want to make sure that it is. Because if it is not, you will have to add a state specific certificate, which is called a loose certificate. Okay. We cannot notarize incomplete or blank documents. So never be the one. I did have someone ask me, well, why am I reviewing the documents? Isn't my only job as a notary to just notarize their signature? Like, absolutely not. We cannot notarize incomplete documents. We can't notarize a packet of documents that is missing documents, and we cannot notarize anything that's blank, period. Because can you imagine the information that could be entered in there without you knowing? And then it has your notary seal on there, and then you have to prove that you knew it was there or it wasn't there, and it's just a big old mess. So do not notarize documents that are incomplete or blank or missing pages. Next, you need to identify your signers and your witnesses if applicable. Okay. Everyone who's signing the document needs to be present with you. If there are missing parties, you want to make sure you're not notarizing their signatures or names. For example, some documents that you get may have everybody's names pre-printed in the certificate. Your notary certificate is the only thing that you can edit. You should not be making any marks or edits to the preceding information. Only your notarial certificate. So let's say you have 4 people's name printed in the notarial certificate, but only 2 of them is present before you. You're going to draw, strike a line through the people who are not with you, because when they meet with their notary will attach a certificate and put their names on it. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next, we want to review IDs. You want to review ID for the type, because you want to make sure it's a type of identification document that you can take in your state. You want to make sure that it's not expired. If you are in a state like Florida, we can notarize a document. We can take an ID that is expired as long as it's not as long as the issuance date is not 5 years past the date of notarization. All right. And you want to make sure that their photo matches them. All right. You don't want somebody just showing you an ID and that's not them. Okay. So you're checking all of this information. Okay. Make sure, please make sure, if you don't have a list, Florida, we're really lucky that we have a list of of acceptable IDs. Not every state does, but you want to at least make a list for yourself so that you know which type of ID documents you can accept. Okay. After you've done all of that, you need to fill out your journal. Please do not notarize the document and then try to fill out your journal. Fill out your journal first. Have your signers sign your journal. Always complete your journal before notarizing documents. And then you want to collect your fee. Present your invoice because you've already reviewed the document. You already know what you need to charge them, right? Do your invoice if you haven't already. Get paid. Take your payment. Okay. Once you've taken your payment, proceed with the notarization process, having them sign and then notarizing the document. Anybody have any questions about what to do at the appointment? All right, good. I hope you guys are taking good notes.
So let's recap. So when we get to the appointment, we're introducing ourselves.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm your notary. Da 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 da. You get the documents. You look over them, make sure that it's something that you can notarize. If it is, you check all of the pages. Then you complete the journal, collect fee.
Nope,
What did I miss?
you skipped reviewing IDs.
Oh, okay.
You got to
You
ID
check.
everybody.
You gotta. Okay, you gotta look through the documents. Gotta ask for IDs for everyone that needs to have it notarized. Once you done all that, you know that you can notarize. Fill out your journal, collect your payment, then sign and stamp.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it.
All right. Anybody else have any questions about what to do at the appointment?
I have a question. Usually I run into where once I do all the steps and I get ready to give them their invoice or their receipt before proceeding with the actual notarial act, they don't want it because I guess to them it's monetary. How do you usually handle that? I know I usually tell them, well, I'm still going to do one for my records and I'll just hold on to it. What would you suggest to do in that situation?
Oh yeah, I have people say that too. Oh, I don't need a receipt. I say, well, give me a second because I do have to have a record of the transaction. Then they'll slow down and say, okay, I'm sorry. I record the transaction and that's it. And you should always be collecting phone number and email. You can just email them a record. They can delete it, but it's still going to show that you sent it. What if they don't have email? You can text message it. What if they don't have that? You still have to have a record for yourself. And if you're invoicing softwares like mine, you can leave a note stating that person declined receipt. And don't forget, you're collecting payment before you complete the transaction, right? So you can always write in your notes in your journal, sign or decline receipt.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have questions about this slide? All right, we're going to move on. Now the closing of the appointment. All right, this is the part where some people are just kind of like shy and, I guess fearful of rejection, but you want to thank your customers for their business. All right, when you're done, you want to leave a business card or a postcard, whatever you're using. Ask for the review. Ask for it. You can send them a text message right there before you leave. You can email them right there before you leave. You can share your Google website and link right before you leave. If you have a QR code, some people have a QR code that they keep around their neck with attached to a lanyard. It's really easy to do. You can just print it out on a piece of paper. You can get it laminated, poke a hole in it, and get you a little cheap lanyard from the dollar store. You can have them scan a QR code. Everybody's been doing that because of COVID. Like when you go to the restaurants, you scan that for a menu. Have them scan your QR code around your neck and leave you a review. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask for the review. And make sure that your reason is, hey, this helps other customers be able to experience my services just like you. Okay? Anybody have questions about this slide? Right? Next, how are you going to handle issues? Issues do arise with some appointments, and you got to be prepared for those too. Okay, so what if all signers are not or cannot be present? All right, I talked a little bit about that. That would be considered a split signing. You don't have to turn them away if all signers are not present. Okay, you can sign for the person who is present, and you can let the other person who needs to sign with another notary, or they can schedule to meet with you at a different time. Perfectly fine. It just means that there's going to be a additional certificate attached for that one person or two or whatever. What if they can't find a witness? Like I said, what if they're somebody who just moved to the state? They don't know anyone, they don't have any family. What are you going to do about that if you see that the document, or if they tell you that the document requires a witness? Do you have a list of notaries that you can call on? Or do you have some family members who wouldn't mind being a witness for you? This is something that you need to have prepared beforehand, because this has been happening a lot where a lot of documents require witnesses. And you should, as the business person, be able to provide a witness for your customer if need be. And of course, you want to make sure you pay them. All right. Don't have your witnesses coming there for free. Tell your customer there's a fee for it. Most people will say okay because they need that document notarized. They pay the fee, you pay your witness. What if valid ID is not available? A lot of states offer the option of credible witness for identification. All right. Follow your state guidelines on what is acceptable for a credible witness. You still have to ID your credible witnesses, and then you're going to fill out your journal accordingly. What if you notice pages are missing? Can't notarize a document. Plain and simple. If they can't produce all pages to you, then you must decline to notarize the document. There's really no other answers to that. Either they're going to provide all pages, but sometimes they'll say, oh, I just gave you this pages because I knew this is what you need to sign, but here's the other ones in the folder. Perfect. Then we can proceed. What? Oh, well, I left the other pages at home because I didn't think you needed to see those. I mean, that doesn't need your signature. Okay, well, I can't notarize this document because I don't know what other documents it belongs to. I cannot notarize it like that. What if the documents do not have a notary certificate attached? This does happen a lot. Some people just are told they need to get a letter notarized, or there's a permission slip and the parent is not able to be present, so they need someone else to sign on their behalf or something, but it needs to be notarized. You attach a certificate, whether you are using a certificate stamp or you're using a loose certificate that you have copies of in your bag. You need to make sure that the document has a certificate. We cannot just stamp a document without notarial wording. So if they present a document to you with no notary certificate, pre-printed or attached, you need to make sure you are attaching or printing one on there, and always make sure to explain to them the difference between the ones that they can choose from and let them make an informed decision. You should not ever choose the notarial certificate for the signer unless you already know which one needs to be attached. Like, for example, say you messed up the certificate on the document and you need to attach one and you already see it's a jurat, then attach another jurat. But if there's nothing available, do not choose. Ask your customer. What if the signer has a disability and cannot sign? This does happen too. You have options. Your state handbook or website should tell you what your options are for people who cannot sign. You have signed by proxy, you have authorized representative, and you have signed by mark. I'm not going to go into detail about that because I do have a whole general notary course that goes over it. If you're interested, you can go ahead and enroll in that course. Otherwise, your state handbook is the best tool for you to learn about that type of accommodation. Next, what other issues have you come across? Did you come across any issues that I did not mention? Let's discuss it. Who wants to share?
The client's not wanting to pay the travel fee. They want to haggle you about it.
Well, that shouldn't be an issue. That's just something that happens before the appointment, right?
Yeah.
I would hope you wouldn't get there, then they tell you they don't want to pay, because that would be messed up.
Oh no, that's like right at the call. They were like,
Oh,
"Oh, if I meet you, do I still have to pay?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm still traveling, whether you
right,
meet me halfway or not." But
right. I don't have
that's
an
been the
office.
yeah, and that's they say, "Well, can I come to you?" And I'm like, "But I'm mobile." So
Mhm.
sometimes it kind of stumps me, and I'll be like, "Oh, what do I say?" Because you're calling me for mobile notary services, and then you're asking me if you could come to my office, and then they want to haggle you about the travel fee. I have one
Mhm.
that say, "Oh, well, no worries. I'll just go up the street and I'll go to one of those check cashing places." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you for calling." Or not,
That's all you can say.
like how do you respond? It's like we're mobile. So
Well, I do tell them if I am coming to you, I do have to cover my fuel and time traveled. I know you say you're 7 minutes away, but it says that I'm going to be traveling 21 minutes. So between me traveling the 7 miles, spending 21 minutes in traffic, spending another 10 with you, traveling back 21 minutes and another seven
I
miles,
know,
that's
right?
not true.
That
So
is
when I
that.
break all that down, they're like, oh, yeah, you make a point.
Oh,
So
okay.
then it's either you're going to pay for all of that, or you could get in your car and you could drive 1 minute and 7 miles to the nearest place. Hopefully they're open and hopefully their notary is available.
Exactly.
Because some of the places that do offer notary services, their notaries are not there all the time.
And another thing is, the one thing is they're not there, and sometimes they cannot notarize certain documents, or they won't notarize
Mhm.
certain documents too. So that eventually the client will have to come back to you.
So you don't. Mm-hmm.
That has happened to me twice before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But as far as issues go, I'm more looking for any issues that you had to handle while at the actual appointment. Has anyone had any issues other than the ones I mentioned at an appointment with a customer?
I feel like I have, but I can't remember at the moment. I feel like I have.
Okay. Well, think on it and then make sure you share it with me if you come up with it.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, my most recent notary appointment was the one I was telling you guys about with the lady who didn't have her hearing aid in. So there was a whole lot of yelling going on. So that was like intimidating and a little cray. But what we ended up having to do was write it down so that she knew what I was asking her. And then she was like, "Oh yeah." So then she was able to communicate that way. But at first, I was like a little hesitant because I'm like, "Why she just don't go to her room and go get her hearing aid? Like I don't understand what's happening right now.
Oh.
Like why
Oh
did you
yeah.
come here without it in?"
Right. Well, at least you were able to write and she was able to read it. So that was still direct communication. So you were good.
Right, but it was like nerve wracking because first of all it was super loud. Like literally, all four people were yelling at Grandma, and she just was like, "What? You know I
Ah!
don't know what you're saying." And I was just like, "Oh my god." So I'm trying to tell her, but I'm like, I don't want to be yelling too. So I went right by
Mhm.
her, and she still just was like not hearing me, and so we just had to write it down. But I was nervous because I'm like, this is crazy. What if this lady's just signing stuff to be done? But she actually ended up wanting to read every single page, and so it
Oh,
took the whole hour when it should have just been 30 minutes.
oh, well, I hope you charge for your time.
I did. I charged for the whole hour.
Good. Right. Anybody else have any issues they want to share? No? All right. Let's move on to the next slide. All right. So in this slide, we're doing an exercise. Okay. We're going to create a service quote. We're going to review some documents. We're going to ID our signer, fill out our journal, notarize the document, and create an invoice or receipt. So if you were able to print out the handouts, that is what all of that is for. Okay, if you just want to sit here and watch, you're more than welcome to do that too. All right, so I'm going to try to share my screen with you guys. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I need to turn on my document camera. Oh, here it is. Hope this is the right one. I had to do an update. It's giving me issues. Yay, it's working. All right, let's move this out the way. Yes.
Where are the documents?
In the handouts. So I don't know how your screen looks, but the handouts is going to be over under where it says questions and chat and stuff.
I see sessions, questions, polls, and chats.
You don't see handouts.
I don't see handouts. Let me see
Donna.
the 3 dots.
Hit the 3 dots because
Okay,
it might be underneath there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen here. Screen share. Yay, here we go. All right, guys, let me know when you see my screen.
It's there.
Perfect.
I see it.
All right, good. So, oh, you know, I should have shared the document first. Oh, well, no, let's do this. All right, so this is the document I'm showing you here. Can you see it? Let's turn off my light. Let's see. This is already bright here. Let's zoom in.
Much better now.
All right, cool.
Better.
Okay, good. So here's your notary quote form. All right. It's similar to the calculator, but I wanted to have something for you guys to write on. So I went ahead and created this for you. All right, so I'm going to give you a scenario. You're going to fill this out and you're going to let me know your price. All right. So you answer your phone, you introduce, you do your business greeting, and you ask, how can you help? I say, hi, my name is Pam, and I was looking for a notary to notarize some documents for me. You say, okay, you know, I'm more than happy to help you with that. What documents did you need notarized? Well, I have my power of attorney that I need to have signed because I need to make my son my power of attorney, and he needs to be able to sell my car. I'm not going to be able to travel to whatever state he's in to sell my car. They told me to have this power of attorney signed so that he could sell my car. He could sign off on the title, right? Okay, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Can you do me a favor and look at your documents and let me know how many pages it needs for a notary to sign, and let me know if it requires any witnesses. Okay, so she goes through her documents. It says notary acknowledgement here. So I just see one page for you to sign, and I don't see anything for witnesses. All right. You got one document. Oops, you got one document. Put your fee. Okay. She didn't see any additional docs, right? Pam, can you tell me if you're the only one signing or does someone else need to sign? No, it's just me. She already told you no witnesses. Pam, how would you like for me to meet with you to sign these documents? Are you going to be wanting to do this online, or did you want me to come to you? I would prefer you come to me. I'm not really savvy on the computer. Okay, no problem. Can you tell me where you're located? I just need the address so that I can map your location from my location. Okay, she gives you the address and you see that she's about 4.7 miles away. All right, so you're going to put on here 4.7 times 2. Why did I do that? Can anybody tell me?
To and from.
Perfect. All right. So I don't like to deal with decimals, so I most likely will round it up. Okay. So if you go back to elementary, 4.7 can be moved to the nearest number, which will be 5. Okay. So 5 times 2 is going to be 10. Okay. Whatever you charge for your travel, whether you're using the IRS rate or a flat rate, you're going to put it here. Okay. So for me, 4.7 times 2, remember I rounded it to 5. So that's going to be 10 miles, right? So for me, anything 10 miles or less is $10. Okay. So that's my fee, $10. Okay. For this type of appointment, now some people they charge a travel time too. I don't do that, but you can do that if that's what you charge. Okay. So I'm going to charge her for 10 minutes of my time. All right. So I forgot what it was. Is it 3? I think it's 0.375. And I'm going to put 10 minutes. All right. So that's going to be what? $3.75. I'm gonna round it up to $4.
Yeah, $3.75.
I'm gonna round it up to $4. All right. And Pam, do you already have the document printed, or did you need to email it to me and need me to print it for you? No, I have it all printed already. All right.
Now, Virgia, for the time, that wouldn't be for like if they wanted it late at night or early in the morning.
No, time is how much time you're gonna spend with them.
Okay.
Okay. For some people, it's travel time and time spent at the appointment, whatever you want to charge for. Okay. But my time is based on the time I get there to the time I leave. Okay. Usually, if I'm going to notarize one document, I'm going to be there no more than 7, maybe 10 minutes if we're talking. All right. How did I break down my fee? Okay. I share it with those in the notary education group. There is a link where it shows you the average salaries of notaries per state or by state. Okay, for Florida, it's $20.25 an hour. So I just divided that by 60 minutes to get how much I would charge per minute. And so I have 10 minutes for my appointment time. I multiplied that by how much the 2025 is broken down into minutes. And that's how I got my time fee. All right. So I'm going to tell her, all right, it was $10 here. It was $10 here, $4 here. Her fee is going to be $24 for me. Okay. After I tell her how much it's going to be, I ask her, would that, that sound good for you? Yeah, that sounds fine. What time do you have available? I'm pretty open. Okay. That's what Pam tells you. You either know when you're available. Okay. And you also want to ask her before you get off the phone, Pamela, how will you be paying? I do accept cash, credit, debit card. Oh, I don't keep cash on me. Can I just pay you with my debit card? Yes, you can. I can either invoice you now and you pay the invoice before I get there, or you could pay the invoice when I get there. It depends on you. Some people like to pay before, some people like to pay at the time of appointment. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and pay it now because I know you're going to be coming. I just want to get it out the way. Okay, no problem. I'll go ahead and shoot you the invoice and then I'll see you at the date and time we agree to meet. If you have any changes, please make sure you give me a call, all right? Or send me an email The email will be attached to the invoice when I send it to you. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, you're welcome. I'll see you on the day and time we agreed upon. Goodbye. Anybody have questions about this quote or about how to handle a phone call from a customer?
Well, kind of. So depending on what they ask for, then how would you know what they need? Or you just go down the line and ask them, just go by additional docs, any signs after you ask them those questions. I guess what I'm asking is, just trying to make sure you don't leave out anything, and then once you get to the where the person is, and then there's something else that you forgot to ask. I mean, is there a way of not of I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting nervous.
No, it's okay. So let me stop you there.
Okay.
In the handouts, I have a qualified customer for service questions. The scenario I just shared with you, I'm used to getting phone calls and asking questions, so I just kind of went off of top of my head with that. But I did include in the handouts a customer question sheet for you guys that you can print out and you can have so that when customers call you, you know what questions you need to ask. So if you're able to print it out, you can click on handouts on the left and download it to your computer and print it out.
Okay, great. That's the qualified customer for service question?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you.
Key, you're welcome. Key, I had shared a link in the group. I can share it again. I got to find it though. It was a link to a website that showed the average salary or average hourly wage for notaries by state. And remember, you don't have to charge that. It's just a basis of comparison for you to see if you've been charging way too much or way too little for your services. But I will share the link with you. I just have to find it, okay? I'll try to share it before we get off. All right, anybody have questions about this notary quote?
And I think I found it if it was through the NNA. I've been trying to Google it. I'm playing catch up with all the different tools.
Nope, it's not through the NNA. It was, I think it was maybe ZipRecruiter or something like that. Like I said, I have to find it and then I'll share it with you.
Gotcha.
Anybody else have questions about this notary quote? Because I want to go to the actual document itself so you guys can notarize it.
Okay, no other questions.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick because I have.
I do have a question, Bourgeau.
Oh, sure.
You have a situation where in the dialogue that you gave us, you're kind of depending on the signer to be honest and tell you what exactly is on the document. And since we're giving them a quote and when we meet up with them, we find out it actually isn't just one signature that's required, it's two. Are we at liberty to have to stay at the quote because they misinform us? Or is that just a dialogue we're going to have? And if they give us too much fuss, we just, eat it and just stick with what was originally quoted because they misinformed us on how to properly calculate the fee?
No, not at all. So I have had it where a person told me this is how many pages it was. They weren't home. They didn't have the documents in front of them. So I gave them a quote based on what they told me. I said, I'm going to send you the invoice. Do not pay it until I get there because I want to make sure that I review your documents properly and have you pay for the work that I will be doing whatever. Okay, no problem. I get there. I notice it's not as many documents as she said. So I adjust her invoice. I have her pay. We move on to notarization. Now, what if you get there and it does cost more? You let them know, well, I noticed that it is going to be more documents than what you told me, so I will have to charge you the difference of an extra $30. Oh, well, I can't pay that. Okay, well, no problem. So what I can do is, here's my card, and don't worry about paying me anything. When you're ready to do the notarization, just give me a call. And then what I'll do is I'll just have to charge you for today's travel along with the additional travel and then the difference of the fee, okay? All right, you have a good day and you leave.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Wouldn't you want to charge for travel fee? But you answered it.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't able to pay, you know what I'm saying, then maybe not. But it's all dependent on you. What if you traveled 30 miles or whatever? You may want to go ahead and recoup that cost right then and there. So it's all dependent on you. But never be afraid to state the obvious, all right? This is your business, and there are no favors. Okay, this is my business, this is how I get paid. This is what it is. They're either going to agree with it or not. So just never be afraid to be professional. Now, I am going to share with you guys a document here. Let me see which one I want to do because I'm not going to do all of them. I have these here for you guys, but I'm just going to do a couple with you. Let's see. Let's do. Matter of fact, I'll ask you guys, what document do you want to notarize together? I have a quitclaim deed. I have a real estate power of attorney form. I have a bill of sale. And then I have a permission slip and some estate planning documents. What would you guys like to do together?
Can we do the quitclaim deed?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry if anybody else is going to speak. I apologize.
It's all right.
That's fine.
All right. So can you guys see the document I am sharing?
Also do the estate planning.
Okay, we could do the estate planning next.
Okay, thank you.
Can you guys see the quitclaim deed on my screen?
Yes.
All right. So in reality, this will be filled out, right? It is not filled out for this exercise, so we're going to pretend, right? So person called you, so they have a quitclaim deed. They need you to notarize. You ask them all of the questions to qualify them for your services, and then you guys go ahead and meet at the appointment. Greet them, introduce yourself, ask for the documents. You get the documents, you're looking them over, seeing what's needed. You see that they do have everything filled in. You're looking to see where you come in at, okay? So this is the second page. You look here, witnesses are required. They just so happen to have witnesses there. Their neighbors are good friends with them and have agreed to be their witness. So you're like, great. Okay, so you got your witnesses, and then you look here. Okay. This type of notarization is an acknowledgement. How do we know that? It says it right there. It's going to be acknowledged before me on this day. Okay. Now that we've reviewed the documents, let's ID them, right? So let me pull up my sample ID. I included this, guys, for you to give you a more realistic experience on filling out a journal page, okay? So here you go. You can either choose Jane Doe or John Doe. Let me try to make this a little smaller for you. So let's choose Jane Doe, all right? If you print out the journal pages, we're gonna fill out a journal page, all right? You reviewed the document, you ID'd them. This ID is good. That is the picture of the person. That is their signature. The expiration date is not expired. It is a state driver's license. That is acceptable. And you see their address. I have gotten into the habit of asking them, is this your current address? Why? Because with COVID, some states are making people make appointments to get new IDs, and sometimes the appointment's not until months out. So the person may have moved. You just want to make sure that you have the right ID. The right address. Okay. So yes, this is my address. This is my current address. So go ahead and proceed with filling out the journal entry. Okay, we're going to put today's date and time.
Bridget, are you showing are you still showing? I mean, you're showing the ID. Did you?
Oh, that's right. Let me share my screen for the journal. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll zoom in, I think. Let's see. Oh no, it's coming into. Let me try to move this closer because I don't want to have to reach all the way over there to fill out this paper. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see my screen? See the document?
We can see it.
Yes, ma'am, we can see it.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm putting the date, I'm putting my time. What is the document that we're doing? A quick claim deed, right?
Hold on, I could give my grandma some lotion.
Uh-oh, guys, you may want to put yourself on mute. All right, so on this particular journal page, just so you guys know, this is a copy of a journal page from the Modern Journal of Notarial Acts, I think. So here they do already have some options here. So this is a quick claim deed. So if you see here, it says AJ, that stands for acknowledgement and jurat. Then it says deed. G is for guarantee. QC is for quick claim, and W is for warranty. Okay, so what I do is check the AJ, cross out the G, cross out the W, because it's a quick claim deed, right? Okay, and I don't have to write anything else. Now, oh, I'm sorry. The date of the document is going to be today. I guess it would make sense to fill this part out. There is no reference number. And what are you charging her? Where's the fee at again? I'm charging her $24. That's what it said on my quote. Okay. Well, see, I don't use a paper journal. I use an electronic journal. You want to charge what you charge for the notarization. You don't want to put on here your other fees. So for the notarization, you charge.
I was just going to X
$10. Seems like every time I move this, it gets back too light. All right. So yeah, I'm sorry. You want to put the notarization fee here. Don't put your travel unless your journal has an area for you to add travel. Okay, you're only putting the notarization fee here. Okay. So I'm going to go to the second page. If you had the journal, of course, it would look like this, where the pages are side by side. Okay. But we have these printed out, so I'm switching to the next page. Now I have printed out the IDs, so I have them to look at here. So I'm going to be using Jane Doe for this exercise. So here it says signer's name and address. So you're going to write their name and address. So I have Jane Doe, address 123 Sample Street, your city and state. Sorry, my cat is under here scratching up my seat. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the zip code. And then here in the next part, it says method of identification, right? They want to know how you ID the person, okay? So the first box says identity established by satisfactory evidence. So I'm going to check that because it was. she presented a driver's license to me. I'm going to put the driver's license. In the white box, I need to put the state, which is the issuer, the type, which is the driver's license. And then I want to put the expiration date. I have gotten out of putting the ID numbers. If your state requires you to do that, make sure you do this just the way your state requires it, okay? So I'm going to put my state, Florida, driver's license, expiration is 2/11/99. Okay. For some of you, you may also have to put the issue date, so make sure you put that as well. Some states require you to put the issue date and expiration. All right. Next, you're going to have the signer sign. I'll just do that. And then they're leaving a right thumbprint if you're collecting one. Some states don't require it. Some states do. Okay. All right. So I got everything filled in. Let me just move this here. Now, for additional information. Now you can't see it. What is over sign? All right. For additional information, what do you put there? You can put there if you added if you had to add a loose certificate, you could put the location where you met them, okay? Net, signer home, neighbors, served as witness. And because her neighbors are going to be her witness, you would need to add the witnesses to the journal as well. Okay. So that means that you would have to add 2 more entries. Okay. I'm not going to do that. But everyone who is signing the documents need to be entered into your journal. So if you're going to have 2 witnesses sign the document, then you need to have each witness filled out in your journal and they need to sign. Okay? Anybody have questions about that?
So the witnesses, would you put their driver's license down also?
Yes.
Do everything the
Yes.
same for the witnesses?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody who's signing the document needs to be ID'd and needs to be in your journal. Everybody. Each person should have their own entry for this type of journal. If you have the, what is that journal that's floating around? Or, gosh, I don't remember the name of that journal. I use an electronic journal, so this is, I don't do this, but, oh, I can't remember. It's a guy, he has a journal for loan signing, and each journal entry is 1 page, and it has space for like multiple signers. So if you have a journal like that, then you will list all your signers on that 1 entry. Okay, but for this particular journal, it's only enough room for you to fit 1 person per entry. So you're going to have to use multiple entries, okay, for this one notarization. So because it's going to be her, it's going to be the person we ID and their 2 witnesses, you got to put everybody in the journal. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Roommate me.
Also, what I used to do in this journal is if I have multiple people for the same transaction, I will write in the notes reference entry number 1 so that they would know these 2 following entries go with the first entry. So all of these people was for this 1 entry. Does that make sense? Yes, no?
Sorry, yes.
Somebody got me to the house.
Now you said reference 1 and 2, and that's because you're doing it on
No.
another page?
No.
No.
You will put on here reference entry number 1. This is witness 1.
Okay. All right.
Witness 2, reference entry number 1. Why? Because they are witnesses for this one entry.
Oh, okay.
You can even write in the notes if you like to. You could write witness 1, witness 2. Okay?
Okay.
Whatever notes you need to make sure that if you're ever asked about this transaction, you can provide the information to them because you know, oh yeah, I do remember her neighbors were witnesses for this document here. Well, did you collect the witnesses' information? Absolutely. Have their name and their phone number, address, or ID or whatever. I have all of that here. Okay, great. They may need to use all that information. So that's why you have to ID and enter everyone in your journal who is signing the document. All right. So now that we have filled out our journal, what do we do next?
Collect the funds.
You said it was a juret, so we would do the oath?
It is not a juret, it's an
The
acknowledgement.
acknowledgement.
Oh.
We collect our funds.
Let me go back to the document. Hold on. So you can see it. Same D, right? All right. So this is page 1. And then we got page 2. So Valerie, you see here it says acknowledged before me. So this is an acknowledgement. All right. So we're going to go ahead and have everyone sign. The person who's going to be signing in grantor is Jane Doe. Okay, so Jane Doe signs. She prints her name. She puts her address, city, state, and zip. Next, we're going to have her neighbors sign because they are her witnesses. Witness 1's going to sign, print their name, put their address. Witness 2 is going to do the same. After the witnesses are done, it's time to do your part. You're going to put your state and what goes in the county.
The county where you're signing.
Correct. Wherever you are at the time of notarization is the county that is going here on this line. Okay, so like I live in Broward. If I'm meeting someone over in Palm Beach, I'm not going to put where my county is. I'm going to put where we are right now. We're in Palm Beach. Okay. Then it says here, I, the undersigned, a notary public in and for said county in said state, hereby certify that blank whose names are signed to the foregoing instrument and who is known to me, acknowledged before me on this day that being informed of the contents of the instrument, they executed the same voluntarily on the day the same bears date. Now it says names in plural because it could have been more than one grantor, but it's not, it's one. So our grantor name is going to go here, and her name is Jane Doe. After you fill this in and you put the date, you sign, put your commission expiration date, and then we're going to seal right next to our signature. Okay. In some states, we do have to print our name right up under that signature line, like in Florida, for example. And we do have to put on here how the person identified themselves. So we have to add some extra things to this certificate in order for it to be compliant, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, I would just end up writing my name here, and I would end up writing produced ID type, and I would put a colon, and I'll draw a line, and I'll just put how they ID'd themselves. Okay, so that is how you notarize that document. Anybody have questions about notarizing the document here?
I have a question. For the produce ID type, would you put it at the end of the last sentence of the paragraph, or does it matter where in the bottom of the page you put it?
It doesn't matter where you put it as long as it's a part of your certificate.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have questions?
No.
All right, perfect. Now let's go on to the next one, which was the estate planning. So I'm going to go to dual trade test file here. All right. So we have the living will, advanced directive. Okay. As you can see, it's all blank. But in real life, this should be filled out. Okay. Either they're going to fill it out before you get there, or if they want to fill it out while you're there, make sure you're charging for the time that's taking you to sit there and wait before you notarize the document. Okay. So we're looking all of this over. Just a disclaimer for those of you who do have a dual tray printer, this is formatted for that. Okay, I put this in the group for people to test their dual tray. It's only 5 pages, but it's 5 pages of letter size and legal size documents. So if you have a dual tray printer and you print this, the idea is for you to see if your printer is going to print according to PDF size. And it should be able to print both of these out. I mean, not both, all of these out in the page size that is formatted as and in order. Okay. So going on to the document, just making sure all of this is filled in, making sure nothing's blank. Okay. We're reviewing it. We're looking for what? What do you think we're looking for here? If you print out your checklist, let's go to your checklist. Okay, we already know the title of the document. We're looking to see how many pages we got to sign, right?
Oh, okay.
We're looking to see who all needs to sign.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to see, are there any witnesses? Okay, so here we see that we do have witnesses. Okay. In a perfect world, the customer already has her witnesses, so that's what we're going to run with. Okay. It's page 4. Let's look at page 5. And we have a notary certificate. Now, we know this is a notary. We know that this notarization type is can't talk right now. My tongue keeps getting in the way. We know that this notarization type is an acknowledgement. Why?
It says it on the document.
No. Anybody else want to go?
Oh, never mind.
The notary acknowledgement is at the, well, never mind.
It says acknowledged before me.
Signed and sworn.
Exactly. That's what you're looking for. Because sometimes the document title will say notary acknowledgement and the notarial wording will be jurat.
Oh,
So you never want to go by the title of the document or your notarization type. You want to look in the certificate wording and see if it is an acknowledgement or a jurat. Okay. It so happens that it does say acknowledged before me here in the certificate, so it is an acknowledgement. Okay. And it looks like you are only going to be signing and sealing the document one time, right? So you go ahead and create your quote for this. Let the customer know how much it's going to be. They agree. What do we do next?
After we looked over it, then we go to the journal and get their IDs. We
get their IDs first, yes, because we want to make sure that they have valid ID, which means we're checking the ID for all of the characteristics it should have, making sure that it's not expired and making sure the ID type is what we can take, right? What if they give you an ID type that is not acceptable? You gotta let them know. Okay.
You gotta let them know and ask for another one.
Exactly. and you want to tell them the types that you accept, because if you tell them, well, this won't work, they're going to start throwing all types of stuff at you. So this won't work, but the types that we do accept is XYZ. Okay, so that way they're not just going to start throwing all types of stuff at you. They're going to think about whether or not they have the types that you told them. Once you got the ID information and reviewed, everything is good, go ahead and fill out your journal. Fill out your journal, have them sign, have them thumbprint if you're collecting thumbprints, and then you're going to collect your payment. Get paid. Once you get paid, go ahead and have them sign the documents. Okay, hopefully they completed it. Usually if a person brings me a document or I get to them and it's not filled in, I will have them fill it in while I'm filling out my journal. Okay, that gives them plenty of time to go ahead and get everything completed. And then they go ahead, they pay, they sign. I have the witnesses sign in this case because it does require witnesses on page 4. Yes. Go ahead and have the witnesses sign. Remember, because there are 2 witnesses, you should also be. So how many people are going in your journal entry for this document? Let me ask you that.
3 people.
Perfect. Your ID, you are recording the information of the principal signer and both witnesses. Okay. So that's going to take some time. So everybody should be able to get this document filled in before you get down to your journal. Okay. After you have everyone sign and you got paid, somebody needs to go on mute. If everyone could please go on mute.
Help get your hair done.
Valerie, are you able to go on mute for me?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All right. Yes. So then once everybody has signed, they filled in the document, they signed the document, you got your journal filled in, you got paid. Now let's notarize this document, okay? Put it in your state, put it in the county of the location you are currently at notarizing this document. Okay. Now, just a disclaimer, it looks like this is a hybrid certificate.
I
Now,
was just going to say that.
if in your state you cannot accept a hybrid, you're going to have to attach one or the other. All right. A jurat or acknowledgement. Like I said, you explain to them the differences, let them choose. You do not choose for them. If you can go ahead and notarize this hybrid certificate, then go ahead and do it. They are acknowledging their signature and they need to be placed under oath. In your journal, you're going to choose acknowledgement and oath for your notarization types, not jurat and acknowledgement.
Okay, is that because at the top it says signed and sworn, and then at the
Yes.
where it says the principal is acknowledgement?
Yes.
Okay.
A hybrid certificate is when you have 2 notarization types in one certificate, which happens a lot with these legal documents. Okay. So we're doing acknowledgement and we're issuing an oath. Okay. After we do that, go ahead and finish completing. Okay. It is asking you to put the principal's name in the certificate. So you're going to write their name here or type whatever you're doing in person or online. Their name needs to go here because they're the principal. You're going to fill it in. You're going to seal, and you're going to be done with this document. Anybody have questions about this document? All right. So that is all that I have for the notarizing documents. In the handouts, though, you have other documents in here that you can print out. You can download, print out as many copies as you like, and practice, practice, practice notarizing, guys. Okay.
Virtual, I have a question.
Sure.
On some of the documents you shared, like the service questions, and I think there was another one. It has your watermark on it. Do I
Yes.
have to
If
like take
you
a
are,
class to? Okay.
if you are a member, the copy without the watermark is in the class library.
Okay. Gotcha. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yes. All right. I am going to go back to my presentation because I also need to finish it. All right. So we did this. We created a service quote. We reviewed documents. We ID'd signers. We filled out a journal entry. We notarized the document. We didn't do an invoice receipt, but you guys basically know how to do an invoice. Okay. You're charging the customer for what you quoted them for, and you're going to have them pay. Next up, I want to see how well you guys listen. So we're going to play Kahoot. Is anybody familiar with Kahoot?
I am.
Yes.
Okay, so what you will need for this game is your phone. Okay, I'm going to go to that page and you are going to type in the session ID, type in your first name, then we're going to get started. So let me pull it up and then I have to share my screen. Hold on. It's not. Oh, continue with Google. Hold on, guys. I'm signing in.
That sounds funny. I can't Kahoot with y'all. I'm trying to cook.
Oh, dang. It's okay. All right.
Was requested
I'm going to
2
share my
cans of
screen in just a minute.
macaroni for this birthday party that started an hour ago, so I'm late.
Oh, oh my goodness. All right. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen. Which one? This one. So how the game goes is once you go on your phone, type in the URL. It's going to be kahoot.it. Oh man, it says my Google's not responding. Hold on. You're going to go on your phone, go to kahoot.it. And then you're going to type in the session ID and your name. When the questions come up, you're going to select the color of the answer. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. Isn't really it? Let me see. I'm gonna do classic mode. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Go to www.kahoot.it and type in this game pin, and I will see you popping up on my screen here. All right. Okay. I see 3 people. Let me see how many people I got in here. Back to my screen. Let me see. I got some people in chat. What did it say? Angelica. She said, Key, you're lucky I'm not playing. All right. We have Tamara, Donna, Key, Stephanie. I got 6 people in here, and I got 4 people. I know one person's not going to be on here because they're cooking. But you can watch, right? Are you watching? like we're gonna get started. I got 4 people on. Who do I have on?
Virgil, you have to sign in.
Yes. So go to kahoot.it.
Okay.
And then it's gonna ask you for this game pin. Then it's gonna ask you to put your name.
Click. You should click play. Don't sign in.
Okay.
This is gonna be fun. I definitely wanted to do this at the end because I wanted to, you know, do a little icebreaker at the end. Were you able to get in, Valerie?
No, I tapped something, but it's going to charge me $3.99. So I know that's
No, you got to click play. So you go.
Yeah, when you go in, click play.
You don't want to sign up for an account. You just want to play. It's free for you to play. So maybe go out and try again. Type in this website here. It says www.kahoot.it. And then you're going to click play. And then put in the game pin. What happened now? Still there, Valerie? What happened now?
yeah. It's a Kahoot it, and I hit Kahoot it, and then it's got like 3 different.
No, you got to type in kahoot.it.
Okay.
It should take you right to the page. Oh, somebody just fell off. Who was that?
I think it was Quee.
You fell off. Come back in.
I'm there. It just was disconnected. I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. I see you. Haven't any luck yet?
See, when I hit play, then it still has the log into Kahoot.
Even if you scroll down, it should have you just put in the game pin.
Are you on your phone or your desktop?
Well, I have my desktop up, but I'm using my phone to do it.
And you put kahoot.it and then you clicked on play and it still asks you for a login?
So try using the QR code that's on the screen, and it'll make you go directly into the game without having to put in the code. So the QR code that's right next to the game code on the screen.
Okay.
That click on the link, and it should just ask for a nickname, and you should be able to get in.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I keep knocking you off, Key.
I got knocked off when I was testing the QR code. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It says I can't get back in though.
What?
When I tried to put my name, they said my name's already taken.
Oh, come on. All right, I see Valerie's in now. I gotta wait for Key to get back in. Sheesh.
I just added an A to it. I just added an A to it.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm pressing start. Y'all ready? Oh,
Yes.
somebody else on here. Oh, Hammer, you on here twice. Oh, she's changed her name. That's all. All right, let's get started. Good luck. What is the venue? State and county of customer, state and county of notarization, state and county I am commission, or a public location of notary. All right, so 3 people got it right. It is the state and county that you are notarizing in. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, Key, first place. Stephanie, second place. Tamara, by 513. Laura, third place. Then we got Donna and Key. Why is this here? Oh, I can, okay. Next. What are the steps to a proper notarization? ID signer, complete certificate, review document, complete journal. Physical appearance, ID signer, complete certificate, review document, ID signer, complete certificate, or physical appearance, review document, ID signer, complete journal, and complete certificate. Everybody got that right. Awesome. Yes, you want to have them physically there before you. You want to review the document. You want to ID the signer. You want to complete your journal, then complete the certificate. We still got Key, number 1, Stephanie following, Tam following, and Donna and Key. Wait. Oh, Lord. I don't know why. So they got you in here twice anyway. That's so silly. What is a loose certificate? Pre-printed notarial certificates designed to be attached to a document. Certificate presented to signer at the completion of a notarization. Cover letter used to show a document is valid. Or certificate presented to confirm notary commission. All right, everybody got that right. It is a pre-printed notarial certificate designed to be attached to a document. Okay, Key, I see you. I see you. We got Stephanie on fire. Donna. Oh, no, Tam, Donna. And then I don't know why they have Key named twice on here. It's so silly. Notarization type that requires an oath and signature in the notary's presence. Everybody should get this. Witness, acknowledgement, jurat, or none. Yes, that's correct. A jurat needs to be signed in your presence, and it does require for you to administer an oath. Uh-oh, Stephanie. Key just clicked it just a minute too late, huh? Then we got Tam, Donna. Next, an acknowledgement does not require the signer to sign in the notary presence. True or false? That is true. It does not require the signature to be done in the notary's presence. All they have to do is let you know, or I'm sorry, all they have to do is acknowledge that that is their signature, and then you can proceed.
Thought about that as soon as I hit false. I was like, that's a trick question.
All right, we got Stephanie, first place, Key, second place, Tamara, third place, Donna, fourth place.
Bridget, are they showing me? I don't see me on there.
I don't know why you're not on there. Are you answering?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. A notary should only be concerned with witnessing signatures. True or false? That is false. We are not only concerned with witnessing signatures. We need to be concerned that we are not notarizing any incomplete documents, documents missing pages, or documents that are not state compliant. Like we're just sitting there just notarizing a letter and it doesn't even have a certificate there. Shouldn't be doing it. Got to review those documents. Valerie, I don't know why I'm not seeing you. Oh, wait, you know what? No, if I scroll down, I still don't see you. That's
Yeah, I don't
weird.
think I see myself. I started off, but I don't see myself now. Well, I'm still clicking, so.
Okay. We got Key, Tamara, Stephanie. Up, Stephanie, you got too slow. You was like, you hesitated a little bit, didn't you? And then we got Donna.
I sure did.
Next, what are the 3 types of identification methods used for notarization transactions? Personally known, utility bill, work badge, credible witness, personally known identification. Up. Y'all clicked before I could even finish. Correct. Credible witness, personally known, and identification. All right. Wish this little banner would stop popping up. All right, Key back in the lead. We got Tamara second, Stephanie third, and Donna fourth. And I don't know why it's not showing. Let me see if it's personal use of this. I don't know why it's not showing you, Valerie. And I scrolled down. I'm sure it's going to show at the end too. I think it shows everybody at the end. When a notarization is completed, a journal entry should be completed directly after notarizing, prior to notarizing, anytime, or prior to meeting the client. Correct. You want to have that journal done before you notarize any documents. You should not be notarizing and trying to complete a journal. All right. Key in the lead. We got Tamara second, Stephanie third, and Donna fourth. It says Tam has a streak with 5 correct answers in a row. Good job, Tamara. What is the difference between a bond and E&O insurance? Bond protects the notary, E&O protects the public. Bond and E&O insurance are the same, no difference. Bond protects the public, E&O insurance protects the notary. Bond protects the surety, E&O protects the notary. You know why I got this one correct? A bond protects the public, guys, and the E&O protects you. All right. Hold on. Let me move this out the way. We still got Key in the lead, Tamara, Stephanie third, Donna fourth. Number 10. When is a loose certificate used? When the document is missing notarial wording, when there's not enough space for your seal, when the notarial wording is non-compliant, or all answers. That's correct. All answers are correct. You should be attaching a loose certificate if the document is missing its certificate. If there's not enough room for you to sign and seal, you got to add a certificate. And if the notarial wording is not compliant, like say for example, it's signature witnessing and you cannot do signature witnessing in your state, then you gotta attach a loose certificate. All right, we got Key 1, Tamara 2, Stephanie 3, Donna 4. True or false? Notary cannot proceed with notarizing a document without notarial wording. True or false? The answer is true. A notary cannot proceed with notarizing a document without any certificate wording. Remember I said a person brings you a letter, you should not just be signing and stamping it as is. We have to add notarial wording to it, and we have to ask them which one they like. All right, we got Key 1, Tam 2, Stephanie 3, Donna 4. Another true and false. A notary can perform a notarization without all parties listed on the document. That is true. Remember, we talked about that. A notary can perform a notarization without all parties listed. They just need to make sure that that certificate shows the people who were before them and signed. Okay. We got Key on fire. Then we got Tamara, Stephanie, and Donna. What certificate elements are required for notarization? Statement of particulars, signer name, date, notary, sign and seal. Venue, statement of particulars, signer name, may be used. Venue, statement of particulars, signer name and date. Venue, statement of particulars, notary, sign and seal section. The correct answer is venue, statement of particulars, and a notary, sign and seal section. All right, Stephanie moved on up. We got Key still in the lead. Stephanie number 2, Tamara 3, Donna 4. Last question, true or false? A notary can notarize a document with missing pages as long as the notary certificate is present. Let's think about that. That is absolutely false. A notary should not be notarizing any incomplete documents or documents with missing pages. Doesn't matter if our certificate is there or not. All right, guys, that is the end of the game. Let's see how we did. Tamara in 3rd place, Stephanie in 2nd. And our first place is Steve. Congratulations, guys, and thank you so much for joining me and playing this game.
That was fun.
I'm happy you enjoyed it. Let me stop sharing. Come back here. All right. So that was all I have for the New Year Notary Refresher. Let me see.
I'm glad I remember more than I thought I did.
Yeah.
Freaking out that I lost all my memory of everything notary because it's been so long.
See? Yeah. And then hopefully you guys maybe learn some new stuff along the way. I tried to make it nice and brief. I was trying to just make everything fit within 2 hours because I know I can talk and talk and talk and we'll be here all night. So thank you guys for being a part of the New Year Notary Refresher. You will actually get this recording emailed to you. I made sure that everybody who registered was able to get this recording. I will also, for the membership group, I will be posting it there as well. Okay. Did you guys have any questions about anything we discussed tonight? All right. Well, then you guys are free to go. You guys have a good night and a good rest of your weekend.
Okay, you too, Bridget.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.